Hello, Pisces, my lovely fish. This is your reading for the week of March 9th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, it will not be for every Pisces. So, Pisces, as I was starting to work with your energy, what I was getting was a sense of you looking backward like this and being kind of sentimental about certain things from the past, even the painful ones. Even the painful things, it's almost as though you've romanticized certain aspects of your past. And when I say romanticized, I don't mean in terms of like one-on-one romance, sexuality, things like that. I mean the way you kind of can look back and sentimentally make something tender and almost have this kind of melancholy of it's gone now. And even though it wasn't always necessarily a positive experience that you are romanticizing or you are being sentimental about, it is kind of just a calling back to the past as though you would like things to be the way they were in some way. And you are linking it back to those memories that are not always positive. So there can be kind of almost like a confusion in your energy field from that, because it's like your mind's going in this direction, but it's also going in that direction. And so, Pisces, this is where it comes down to a couple of key concepts that Spirit would like to share with you. One of them is a memory that I had, a memory that they reminded me of from years ago, like we're talking 30, maybe 40 years ago. And that was a friend of mine who wrote poetry, was offering it to me to read. And when I questioned her on the subject and the theme that kept coming up, she made it really clear that she did not want to heal from her past wounds, because what would happen if she got better? Her creativity would dry up. And of course, that's a statement of a very young person, which we were at the time. So it goes along with the idea of what the other thing Spirit dropped in, which was, do not fight for your own limitations. And that's what it feels like to me. It's the idea that going back and focusing on the past, romanticizing the past as though it was something just really wonderful and needs to be immortalized. It's like, no, you don't need to keep that energy going. You're being told that when you do that, when you are really, really romanticizing something, you are more in your ego. You're more in that part of yourself that is really disconnected from your central power. It's really only a point when you're really able to say, I'm ready to let it go, that you know you've moved into that higher energy, where you know you now are more of an observer as opposed to somebody who's participating in the sentimental fantasy of the past. That's a phrase that just flew in there. So what I feel you're being told here, my dears, is this is your opportunity, Pisces, to really let the past go, to look at whatever still grabs you and makes you go into regret or romanticization, sentimentality, that kind of melancholy longing for the past. It's like, no, Pisces, you have got far more going for you coming in the future, if that's what you want, because you are a powerfully evolved water sign, in that you have got the ability to go into the depths, you've got the ability to come up. If you just look at what you represent the idea of a unity of elements, because yes, okay, you've got the water element, but then you've got the leaping into the air element. You've got that sense that you nourish the earth with your bounty. And with your bounty being your creativity, your emotional capacity, your desire really to experience beauty in life, and to not just beauty in life, but the beauty in like planting a garden and seeing something grow. It's that quality of connection to the sacred that happens quite naturally for you. You don't always recognize it though. And because you can go into the romanticizing the past or old situations, you can sometimes really lose sight of how powerful you are and of the capacity that you have for really positive change in yourself and where you're going. This is about you connecting to yourself in a way where now the outside world is beautiful and lovely, but you don't have to go running after that in order to feel it. You can start trusting yourself and trusting your connection to things. You're being asked to really operate with the energy of compassion. And compassion is really very much about, well, I'll just read the card because it's easier. It carries an awareness of the vulnerabilities of others and ourselves. There's an empathy which allows for a gentle, kind approach, nudging us to move away from the need to blame and judge and move towards a desire to simply understand. Use compassion. So again, awareness of the vulnerabilities of others or ourselves. Okay, this is important. One of the things that they're saying is that part of the reason we become sentimental about the past is because there is this longing for emotional connection. And sometimes we experience that sense of emotional connection more through a fantasy around something than the actual living of it, because we are now no longer in that, our nervous system knows we are in a safe place now, so we can think about it. Whereas at the time, perhaps we were not fully in our bodies or fully in a safe place where mentally, where we could allow ourselves to really explore things in real time. It's like we had to go away and analyze it after, or debrief after, so we could feel it within a safe space. So now what they're saying to you is that is what allows you to be able to get in touch, being able to, thank you, run through and not be attached to the old emotions, to be willing to let go of that romanticizing of the past. What you get to do now is you get to experience the ability to, you're dropping the weight of the past, basically, is what's happening. Took me a minute to get there, but that's it. You're dropping the weight of the past. And as you drop the weight of the past, that goes along with you not needing to analyze, not needing to figure it out, not needing to stay linked to that as a way to experience life and emotion. You are now, what you really want is connection to yourself. That's what you've been looking for all along. And that is where you are moving to, my loves. That. So compassion for yourself and for your vulnerability and for understanding why it was important for you to stay connected to those ideas and those memories in a kind of sentimental way, is because it felt like that's where the life was, but the life is now. The life is now, and the life is where you're able to go. So drop the weight of all that stuff. Embrace compassion, curiosity about yourself and about your life, and realize that your creativity will be even greater and that much more varied when you drop the sadness, when you drop the past, when you drop the wounds, when you allow yourself to evolve into a healing state and place, because that's where you're really connected. And that's where you get what you need in terms of whatever your creativity is. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, Pisces. Take good care.